Okay, the Great Commission. It's in Matthew, it's in Mark, and it's in Luke. So if it's that serious to be at the very end of 3 of the 4 Gospels, it's because they wanted to remind us what we were supposed to be doing. So in the book of Matthew, in the very last chapter, chapter 28, Jesus says 83 words in my translation after his resurrection. And out of those 83 words, he is not telling you, rejoice in the fact I'm resurrected, bow at my feet. Isn't it a miracle? I never thought this was going to happen. He says, one, rejoice. Also, meet me in Galilee. And then after that, he gives the commands of the Great Commission. But in the beginning of the commands of the Great Commission, he says in Matthew 28, verse 18, he says, all authority has been given to me in heaven and on earth. Basically saying, now that you know that I am who I say I am, and now that we can have that be your foundation, the facts that I really am who I said I was, he then says, go therefore and make disciples of all the nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit. He's saying, go. Put your feet to the ground and go. I'm telling you, now that you know who I am, you need to get out there and you need to make disciples of all the nations. You need to spread the word of Jesus to everybody. It says, teaching them to observe all the things that I have commanded. We are to go, therefore, to all the nations, make disciples, preach the word of Jesus, and teach the teachings of Jesus. And then he says, and lo, I'm with you always, even to the end of the age. You guys, a lot of people don't even recognize how serious this is. A lot of Christians will be inside the church, and they think this is everything. Let's go meet on Sundays in fellowship, and then let's get back to our normal lives. You guys, that's not it. After the resurrection, after the biggest moment of who Jesus said he was resurrected, he says, go. Now that you know, you must go, because you were called to bring the lost sheep to Jesus. You were called to get out there. And then, not only that, this isn't a go therefore unless you're anxious, you get anxiety in big crowds, you're not good at public speaking, you're shy, you're nervous, you're busy, you got football to watch, you got a job to work. There is no unless. He doesn't say go therefore unless. He says go therefore and make disciples of all the nations. Get out there and make disciples of all the nations. He tells you to do it, so why are we not doing it? You guys, really look at how big this is. How would you have came to Jesus if Jesus didn't meet you where you were? And how are we supposed to bring other people to Jesus if we don't meet them where they're at? Under that bridge sleeping, walking down the strip prostituting yourself, in a trap house getting higher selling drugs. We have to go meet people where they're at, just like Jesus met us exactly where we were at.